Well, hello, hello. This is Nubia of Nubian Queen Nation podcast and YouTube video. So today I just want to share about passports. So my husband and I are to the point where we're kind of almost empty nesters. So three of our girls have moved out, or three girls moved out, and we just have our son who's still homeschooled and living with us. And we are really setting our sights on traveling. And we've been, especially since the pandemic, trying to figure out where would we like to go. So today we start off with, of course, just getting the passport. Okay, well, let me tell you, getting a passport and making yourself passport ready. Having your birth certificate, having your. My son needed his birth certificate, and because it's his first time, they took the birth certificate and they're going to mail it back to us. And for me, if you have a passport, make sure you dig out that old passport, even if it's expired, and bring that with you. So in doing that, it helped me to cut down on half the paperwork. And what else did I have? I also turned in my military ID, retired, my husband retired, and I was prior military. And I also used my driver's license. So if you're going to go and you're going to pay ahead of time online for that appointment, they charge you here to make our appointment through the post office. So my husband went online, went to United States Postal Service, whatever, and he got us a date for this morning. His was like at 10 and ours was like 10:30. Well, we went in separate cars, and by the time we got there, I don't know what happened. My son and I didn't even think to look in our envelope to make sure that our birth certificates were at least in there. And good thing we didn't. We live only a couple minutes or a few minutes from the post office. So I had my husband run back to the house because they were about to cancel our appointment. And if they cancel your appointment and you have to reschedule, I think that you have to pay again. So I was like, nah, that's not going to happen. So I'm like, okay, just give me a new application. I will stand here. First of all, having somebody at the window who's friendly enough and patient enough to work with me, because they know that you just, we had this on the books for a little bit. And I think the same thing happened to my daughter, where she probably got to the window. At that time, she did have her birth certificate, probably her student ID and all those type of things. But if you are not prepared and you get to that window, they are going to say to you, you need to come back and reschedule. And I'm like, we don't have time for that, because I'm trying to at least get in some kind of travel before the end of the summer or before the school year starts this year. So I ended up sending my husband back home. He got my old passport, which I've had two. So I think the first one was issued to me by the military or through the military. And then the second one was, back in 2007, which still has expired, because I think that each passport is only good for like 10 years. So all those things you need to find out before you go and take that little journey to the post office. So the lady, we got to the desk, and the first gentleman was like, okay, just come on back. Just schedule another appointment, come back. And I was like, I'm not leaving here today without this passport, at least having it initially done. So the one lady at the window said, you know what, I'm going to take a 15-minute break because we're short on people, but I'm still going to take my break. And then at the end of the 15 minutes, stay here, finish up this form. And when I come back, I'll help you. So that's kind of what we did. So we were there a little bit longer than we expected, but I actually left there with our application. The process was fully done because my husband ran home, came back, and he had the things that we needed. So, because there was other people that were there also, and they were trying to get passports for their children, and they also had to come back, the next day. So I tell you what, that process, and then we wanted to have it expedited, because I really, really, really would like to go. I've been saying I wanted to travel out of the country for the past couple of years, just after the pandemic ended, and we're finally at that stage right now. So I tell you, it had to cost at least, I'm not even kidding you, approximately $300 per person, because there was like a $170 or $180 fee just to expedite the thing. Okay, and then you had the normal fee. So I think my husband, he got there before us, and I think his cost somewhere around $280, $290, and then you add the fast expedition expedient fee for the passport, and that was approximately $300 per person. So I'm glad that when we, don't tell Uncle Sam, but when we got our return this time, we kind of held it in a certain spot so that we can use that money to process our passports and then hopefully purchase our tickets, because I really just want to get off out of the United States for a breather and some fresh air and some, I really just want to walk around and see a lot more melanated people. So whether that's, Portugal, Spain, we've been there before. I loved Spain. Um, Turkey, I went to Turkey before when I was in the military, and traveling with an American passport, military American passport, so different. I can remember being in Turkey, and I think I traveled from Turkey to maybe England, and they gave us um, they said that if for some reason somebody stops you with your passport, or if your plane, God forbid, got hijacked, you should take your passport and stick it in between the cushions of your seat. And yes, honey, I know I'm lying, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Come back and get me. Okay. All right. Later. Okay. I like one lady who says that when you're doing life, you just fit all these things into the nooks and crannies when you can. So I think my husband was probably going to stay in there for a while until I said, yeah, I'm doing life. So anyway, yeah. So I was stationed in Turkey, and I do remember it, and also because travel with civilian clothes when you're overseas, which makes perfect sense, of course, especially seeing how all the things that are going on in different places, Turkey and Poland now, and those things were going on when I was stationed in Turkey many moons ago. So, yeah, there's plenty. Yeah, there's plenty of different places that we've already traveled, but it's different when you travel as a military person because you always have the military as your backup. Get to the nearest military base and you're fine. But this time we're going to be traveling, and I don't think there's going to be any military base anywhere in sight. I'm not sure if there's one in Portugal or Spain, wherever we decide to go. So you have to stay tuned and watch and follow our journey to see where it is that we do choose to go. I would like to eventually, I would just like to pack up this whole house or sell as much stuff as we can, get rid of stuff, and then just move abroad. So you'd have to guess at where you think I'd want to move. And then my son, who's still a minor, he's 16, just drag him along for the trip. He said he's not sure if he wants to live overseas. I said, well, because we're still your parents, I think that you're going to have to get there, work out a way to save some money, get a job, start a business, and then you can fly yourself back if you want to. But you're coming. I hate to see or say that there may come a time or a point in the United States or wherever you're living right now where it might be harder for you to get your passport or a visa and or to travel abroad and to leave the country. So if you're thinking about doing something like that and you're a forward thinker, then you might want to go ahead and just get your passport, just get it out of the way and get it now. Because even if you don't plan to go anywhere, you don't have to have that extra $180 fee to charge it to speed it up. But I just feel like, I don't know, by the time the end of this year comes around, just like back in 2020 when the pandemic hit and I was watching all these different videos and people were saying it's coming, something's coming, and we didn't know what it was, but then, bam, the pandemic. Nobody could have ever predicted that. Well, to be perfectly honest with you, there are some books from 1980 and beyond that kept talking about a pandemic and the word COVID and all these different things, but that's back in 1980. So how planned was it? I don't know. Let's not go, I won't go there. That's a whole different video. But I do remember my daughter was in school at that time in college, and she had contacted me and says, I think this stuff is going down. I used to always tell them, keep some emergency water bottles under your bed, have an emergency path. Like if you think something's going to happen. Yeah, I just think like that. Maybe is it from the military? I don't know. But anyway, all right, we'll leave the whole CVID thing alone. So I'm really looking forward to traveling. And if you are traveling and you have some places in mind, why don't you share them below in the comments? I would love to hear where you'd like to go and travel. I know that some people in my family have been to Belize too. That sounds like a very, very beautiful place to go. I met a couple from there when I lived in Tampa. But I do have a top 10 list. I just don't want to say it out loud right now. But name your top 5 places. I'll give you like I said, Spain was a beautiful place. Turkey, I've been to England, kind of cold. My husband's from Jamaica. I want to go someplace also where the dollar is going to be very good and the dollar is going to stretch because, got to hold on to every single penny because we don't know what we don't know. So that's all that I think I have for today. If you have any questions and if you like to travel and you're interested, just follow, see where we're going to go next or what the next video will be from here. Start another series of traveling and preparing. And the biggest thing for me is going to be not just decluttering, but packing up. And you can't take everything with you. And I love books. I mean, even just looking at my desk right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 books. One is, of course, Queen Charlotte. With my book club from the military veteran women, we read the book Spare last month. And then How to Hustle and Win. I'm not even sure where that book came from. Survival Guide for the Ghetto. Black Gold, and Michelle Foster. Okay, yeah. Well, that's in the spiritual book. So spiritual. So anyway, I'm a book person, and I know I can't take them all with me, but I have to find a way to, I don't know, store all this stuff up, or I don't know, maybe have one of my daughters live in the house, even though one's in Korea, the other one moved out, the other one's in college, and then just come back and just get some stuff little by little. That would be nice. So, but that's truly all that I have for now. Tell me where you have your passport or where you've been, how long you had your passport, is it about to expire? Just jump on that thing. Go get those applications. You can print the applications down from online and then, or walk into the post office and get your application. So just be prepared. Also, they don't take MasterCard. They don't take any kind of credit card. You have to use a debit card so we used the debit card, and we had to do like a money order, which was $1 each. And there's 3 of us, so there was 3 different money orders for the separate total of $170 or $190 for the speeded up expediting the passport. So I'm just saying, just be prepared. All right. So that's all that I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings. If you know somebody who's going to be traveling, please like, subscribe, pass this video on, or just, send it to a friend. All right. That's all I have for now. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.